Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 852, written by the 007 Rat. The final words of my canine friend. First anomaly. I had a cute puppy, Goddard, a mixed boxer and Rottweiler. But the house next to mine was going through some repairs. I have a huge, in city terms, backyard, and our fences were torn due to repairs, so the pup started wandering the street in the nights. As some people are beasts, they were poisoning all strays, and my pup ate some poison. I took the pup to the vet and the outcome wasn't good. I went to work at my night shift and my best friend took care of the pup. The next day I came home and Goddard was still so-so, but I fell asleep. My friend called to see how he's doing. I went to the backyard and called him. At last, he whimpers behind a big bush that was on the furthest corner. "There you are," I say and tell my friend. "He just whimpered. I'm going to check him out," and hang up. He hides his head behind the bush, so I approach him calling, but he doesn't make another noise. I have to get some special scissors to cut some of the branches so I can fit through, and I see Goddard. And sorry about the rest of this description, but he's dead stiff, with flies over him. That was impossible in the less than 2 minutes it took me from I heard him whimpering to when I got to him. The second anomaly. About 10 years ago, we took a trip on an airplane. I wanted to be a pilot and just admired the beautiful straight wings on all planes as well as the other airplane features. I don't know if this is important, but my son died 4 years ago, and I wanted to harm myself in my utterly devastated mental state. I have another child though, so that kept me bound to life. 3 years ago, I traveled on a plane and now all the wings are turned upward. When I came back, I checked the airplane information and never were the wings straight. A couple months ago, I was very sick. I didn't have much support and some friends and my boss turned against me. I was heavily depressed again, but because of my other kid, I didn't do anything drastic. My friend, the one from the first story, and I had tickets to travel a couple weeks ago, and the wings were different again. Straight, turned upwards, and some ended in V shapes. So perhaps I did die, and I'm in a new universe. Case notes for file 852, the final words of my canine friend. What the hell is going on there? People are just randomly poisoning stray dogs? If you have too many strays, it can cause havoc for food supplies, other pets in the area, but still, just poisoning them? It's heartless. Horrific. I'm so sorry for your loss. It is curious regarding his last whimper. It seems like he was trying to give you a signal of where his body was. I do think he had already died, and his echo was still left behind, which I do think that even our pets and other animals can leave behind an imprint, and that imprint didn't want his body to just decompose behind a bush, never to be found. So I think he was just trying to make sure that you knew what happened to him. And regarding the second glitch, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know that much about planes. I do know that they're able to change the back end of the shape, flaps, I think they're called. But the actual shape of the wing is always curved, and it's curved outward from the plane. Sort of, yeah, like V-shape reversed. If you're looking at the plane going forward, it's a reverse V. Straight wings. I think there are some smaller planes that have straight wings, but it's always usually a bit curved. If it was the same type of plane, the same size, then there's some possibility there was a glitch here. But it may not be a glitch, it might just be design philosophy for different plane types. I know that physics would probably be the same in all universes that still have people in them, because physics have to be so tightly regulated in order for anything to exist. Like if the speed of light was even slightly faster, all the mechanics of the universe wouldn't work anymore, so we wouldn't even have matter. So this one's unclear to me. Might be a glitch, maybe it is quantum immortality and you're in a new universe and there's a slight difference. And it could even be possible that people jump often, or people are dying more frequently than we might imagine otherwise, and as a result, you get more of these anomalies. And they're back to back. Like you could switch from one anomaly back to the original. It doesn't mean you're back in that original universe, you're just in a new one that doesn't have that same anomaly. Case file number 853, written by TLR 1791. Life grants lemons and glitches. I bought a Mayer lemon tree early in the summer, and I've been obsessed with taking care of this tree. I've always wanted my own citrus tree, and this is my first go. Well, about a month ago, it budded with 2 flower buds. My boyfriend and I would check the flower buds every day, keeping an eye on how big they became before they blossomed. As the weather became colder at night, I started to take the plant inside, but only for the night. One day, a couple weeks ago, it was pretty windy as we came home, so I stopped to check on the tree. Now there was only 1 flower bud, and the second was no longer at the tip of the branch where it had been. I looked on the ground and inside the pot. I didn't see where it had maybe fallen off. My boyfriend and I looked at every tree branch, shook the branches, looked between the leaves, and nothing was there. We chalked it up to the wind making it fly off, so I brought the tree inside early and put it in front of the window. I checked the tree again that night and still no flower bud. Nothing looked shocked or stressed, so it was no big deal. That night, my boyfriend and I had some weird dreams. My boyfriend more so, as he said he had sleep paralysis and a dream in which he was saving our son from aliens that had come into the house. My dream was of aliens in front of our house trying to get in. We both rarely remember our dreams. Weird, but probably a coincidence. Once I get up, I go to take my tree outside, and there's the flower bud, the second one, right there, prominently in view at the end of the branch. I pointed it out to my boyfriend and he shrugged it off. He doesn't believe in any of this stuff, but the more I think about it, the more I feel like there's something to it. Case notes for file 853, When Life Grants Lemons and Glitches. Okay, this is kind of funny. Now the aliens are coming for our lemon trees. Hey, can't blame them, you know, make lemonade, not bad. Fresh squeeze of lemon juice in chili, secret sauce. Also, add a few dark chocolate chips in there. You'll be amazed at the richness and depth that your new chili takes on. Pro tip. But yeah, this is a tiny glitch, but it can't be ignored. Originally there was one, then it was gone, which could, presumably be from the wind knocking it off or something like that. You bring it inside, still only has 1 flower bud. You go to bed, you wake up, and there's 2. To my knowledge, they don't sprout that fast. I'm not a gardener, so maybe that's wrong. But assuming they don't sprout that fast, yeah, that's definitely a glitch. Even if it's a tiny thing, it can't just appear from nowhere. Not supposed to anyways, right? As they say, the devil is in the details. Bonus file, written by Amma 1989. It's all in the name. I was about 18 and I was hanging out at my friend Joanne's house with some other school friends. Can't quite remember how we got onto the subject, but towards the end of the evening, Joanne thought it would be fun to perform a seance. Joanne and her family were from Cape Town, South Africa, and had deep-rooted interest in the spiritual, or at least that's what Joanne made out to us. With the lights off and candles lit, we all sat at a round table, with cards fanned out around the edge. Each card had a letter of the alphabet arranged, A through Z, and a shot glass placed in the middle. Joanne starts speaking out to the spirits in Afrikaans. I remember pulling a face and rolling my eyes. It was too dark for anyone to take offense. At the time, I was an insufferable, enlightened, atheist teen dork. You know the type, cringy 4chan edgelord who thinks any form of spirituality or religion is beneath them, and my superior intellect. I never wore a fedora, but I was damn close. However, what was about to happen made me question everything. It started mundane enough. A few questions were asked, and the shot glass we were resting our fingers on started to move to and fro until eventually one of my friends asked the spirit if they were associated with anyone in the room. The shot glass moved directly towards me. Incredulous, I asked the spirit, "If you're associated with me, then what's my mother's maiden name?" My eyes fixate on the letters that spell out her maiden name, Jones. But the glass started spelling out something different. First the glass went to T, then H, then O. I thought then it was bullcrap as it was completely wrong. Then I was struck by a horrific realization. When my mom was 6 months old, her biological father died of a heart attack, and a year after that, she took her stepfather's name. I completely forgot this in the moment as I was expecting the glass to read out the maiden name she had for the majority of her life, but was actually spelling out her original maiden name of Thompson. It was a fact so trivial that I barely remembered it myself. It was something never talked about even within my family, as it happened so long ago. It would be hard to believe that any of my friends would know this esoteric piece of my family's history that occurred 20 years before I was even born. But nonetheless, somehow, it was being spelled out in front of my very eyes. Thompson. My school friends and I wouldn't talk about anything deeper than video games and girls at that age. Yet there's no way I ever mentioned this to any of them. It's not like any of my pot-smoking loser friends had a copy of my mom's birth certificate, and none of them had ever met anyone else in my family. There was literally no way anyone could have known this. Before I could contemplate this for too long, or ask any other questions to my ghostly associate, Joanne's mom came into the room and turns the lights on, and shouts something like, "Bloody hell, Joanne, stop messing around with this silly crap," and put a definite stop to the proceedings. Of course, at the time, I played it off as a prank, but the more I think of it, the more my mind wanders. Did something actually paranormal happen that night? I know it's nothing dramatic or that exciting. I didn't see an apparition or a cryptid, but this experience is actually true, and something to this day I can't explain. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Case notes for the bonus file. It's all in the name. This does pique my curiosity. As you say, the knowledge was hidden almost to yourself. You had to actually rack your brain a bit for it to make any sense. That it was your original mother's maiden name, not the new one she took on after the stepfather came into the picture. So the idea that it was maybe your suppressed memory, subconscious, it's conceivable. It certainly wouldn't be a prank, because no one else could know, and especially because that information would probably not be available online. It would just give you your mother's current maiden name, not the original one. Most likely. I mean, maybe it's possible to find, but would teenagers around that age be willing and able to find that information? All for a prank that they never reveal as a prank? I won't discount it, it just doesn't seem likely. So was it an entity related to your mother that just trying to say hello? They're all just possibilities though. I wouldn't say I'm sold either way on this one. It's hard to say. And those are my notes for tonight. Leave a like and comment if you enjoyed and want more. And that's Kinetic Symphony, signing off.